et bonjour, on retrouve Fred. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the pronoun y, or le pronom I. So the y in French is pronounced as I when it's used as a word, not to be confused with the letter y, y in the alphabet. So le pronom I. When do we use the pronom I? We've already learned our direct and our indirect object pronouns. And just a quick little review of those. Let me put these on the next page. Quick little review of those. Your direct object pronouns replace things that answer the questions what or whom. Remember that those are me, te, le, la, l'apostrophe, nous, vous, and les. Remember that me means me, te means you, le is him or it, la is him or it, l'apostrophe is him, her, or it, nous is us, vous is you, and les is them. Okay? So those are your direct object pronouns. And remember, your indirect object pronouns deal with people, and you're going to look for forms of a, which can be a, o, and you might even see pour, which means for. And these are always going to be people. Okay? So they're always going to be people. And your pronouns are me, te, lui, nous, vous, and le. So you will notice that the me, te, nous, and vous are the same in both the direct and the indirect. Okay, so from context, you will learn that which one of those you're using, whether it's direct or indirect. Okay, so it'll be context of your sentence, of your paragraph, of your reading, wherever the pronoun's used, you'll know from context which pronoun you're using. Okay, so back to the pronoun I. The pronoun I replaces things that start with the preposition with a, don, on, sur, or chez. So that you use the pronoun I to avoid repeating places and locations. So I replaces places and or locations. So there are indicator words for these. Your pronoun I indicator words are forms of a, or remember a can be a, o, or o. Okay. Chez, well, let me not give you chez yet. Let me give you save that one for the end. Don. Remember, your forms of a mean to or at. Don means in. En, like you would say en France, in France. Sur, so you might say sur la table. So these are all going to be followed by places or locations. So you might say à l'école, dans le magasin, en France, sur la table. And then you've got the word chez, which, if you'll recall, means at the home of or the place of. So that one will be followed by a person, simply because of the meaning of the word. It's still talking about a place or location of someone. All right, so that's the pronoun I. Some examples of how we would use it. Let me add a page here. Some examples of how we would use it. So you might say, j'aime aller au magasin. All right, so j'aime aller au magasin. So I'm going to look at the sentence and I'm going to say, I like to go to the store. So, au magasin. I see my indicator word right here. Au, which can also be an indicator for an indirect object pronoun. But then I look at the word after and I see magasin is not a store. So I know that that's going to give me my pronoun I. So then I ask myself, okay, that's my pronoun, I need to use. It replaces this place. Now I need to identify my verb. So I see I have a verb right here, M, but then aller means to go, so that's a verb also, but it's in the infinitive form. And I know from my direct and indirect object pronouns that my pronouns go in front of the verb unless there's an infinitive, and then they go directly in front of the infinitive. So I know that that pronoun E is going to go directly in front of this infinitive, which I have the green squiggly box over. So I'm going to rewrite the sentence. J'aime y aller. So now my sentence says, I like to go there. So the E, when translated, will be there because it's replacing a place or a location. Okay? So let's say Marie. Marie va chez ses amis. Marie va chez ses amis. So I see an indicator word, I see my chez, and I see that it's followed by people. So there's my indicator word. That's going to indicate our pronoun E. All right? So, and then I've got to find my verb. Va is my verb. I don't have any infinitives in this sentence. So when I rewrite this sentence, it's simply going to say Marie y va. Marie goes there. Okay? So your pronoun E is really very simple. So you've got, it goes in front of the verb, or it goes in front of the infinitive, if there's an infinitive. All right, so now we've got 3 sets of pronouns. We have our direct object pronouns, our indirect object pronouns, and now we have our pronoun E, which replaces places or locations. So I've got all these pronouns. I need to know what order they go in if I need to use 2 of them in a sentence. So, if I haven't already given you your poisson de pronom, ask me for it. But you can draw this on your chart in your paquet as well. All right? You've got all these different pronouns. I used to just use this little flag, but I've got the poisson de pronom, the pronoun fish, that I'll give you. So, we know that these pronouns, me, te, those are the same in direct and indirect. There's a reflexive pronoun, which we've not really addressed yet. We will get there. It will be ce. We know that nous and vous are both the same direct and indirect object pronouns. So, if you want to label, these are direct object pronouns and indirect object pronouns. You can label those. All right? So then the next pronouns that you would use in your sentence would be le, la, l'apostrophe, and les. And you'll remember that those are direct object pronouns. And then you've got lui and le. Those are indirect object pronouns. And now we have our prepositional pronoun. It's a prepositional pronoun. Okay? And I say it's a prepositional pronoun because you can look for the preposition a, you can look for the preposition dont, you can look for the preposition en, you can look for the preposition sur, or you can look for the preposition chez. So if you want to also add here your indicator words, a, dont, en, sur, and chez, if you see those words, a and o here, and if these are followed by places, and this one will be followed by people or a person, you will know that you need the pronoun E. For lui and le, you want to look for the pronoun a with people. All right? And then with your direct object pronouns, most of the time, not always, most of the time, you're going to see le, la, l'apostrophe, or les in your sentence in front of your direct object, which kind of is an indicator that that's a direct object. And it's kind of simple to pick out which pronoun you need, because if it's le garçon, the pronoun's going to be le. All right? If it's les enfants, the pronoun that's going to replace les enfants will be les. Okay? So, a followed by people for your indirects, your prepositional. You've got these indicator words a, dans, en, sur, and chez. So let's look at a sentence where we might have multiple pronouns that we could replace. So let's say, je donne le cadeau à Marie dans le parc. All right, so let's ask ourselves, what can I replace? I can replace le cadeau, and that is my, let me erase a little bit of that line. Le cadeau, and that is my direct object, okay? I can replace à Marie. I see an à and a person, so I know that's an indirect object. And I can replace, I'm going to go back to this yellow, dans le parc. I see an indicator word here, and I see a place, so I know that's a prepositional. I'm just going to write prep there, okay? I know this is going to be the pronoun e. This is a and a person, so to her is going to be Louis. And le cadeau, it's le, so it's going to be le. Now, you don't really ever replace 3 different things in a sentence, so pick 2 that you want to replace. So in our first sentence, let's replace the direct object and the indirect object. So let's identify our verb. Let me change and get a different color here. Let's do with this. So I've got a verb. Done is my verb. That didn't work out, so we'll use it anyway. Okay, so done is my verb. I know that my pronouns go directly in front of my verb. So if I rewrite this sentence, I've got my direct object and my indirect object that I want to use. And I look back at my poisson, or I look back at my flag, and I see that le comes in front of Louis, and I've got le and Louis, so I know they go in that order. So I'm going to do this. Je, le, Louis, and I know my verb is next because my pronouns come directly in front of my verb. And then I'm just going to rewrite the rest of my sentence because I did not replace dans le parc. Could I replace dans le parc? Yes, I can still replace it with a pronoun e, but I didn't choose to replace that right now. So, I give the present to Marie in the park, is what my original sentence says. My next sentence says, I give it, the le, to her, the Louis, in the park. I give it to her in the park. All right? So let's replace our direct object and our prepositional one in the next sentence. So I've got je, my verb is still the same. I've got to look back at my flag to see which pronoun comes first. I've got le, and then e is way down there, so I know that the le is going to come first. I'm going to make that l'apostrophe because I know my e is after that. And because of that sound, I'm going to make it l'apostrophe. I wouldn't count you wrong if you're le e. I would just say it, le e. Does that sound okay? And then you'll know, hopefully, that that needs to be li with the l'apostrophe. All right? So then, done. And I didn't replace my indirect object, so I'm going to write Marie again. So now my sentence says, I give it to Marie there. All right? So the it is the l'apostrophe, the there is the y. And now let's replace the indirect object and the prepositional. All right? So I've got je. I know my verb is still the same because I'm still working with the same sentence. Oop, 2, 4. So I've got Louis. My indirect object is Louis. My prepositional is y, e. So it's there. So I'm going to say, I know my Louis needs to come first. Then I know I need my prepositional, which is e. Done. And I did not replace my direct object pronoun, so I'm going to write that again. Je lui donne le cadeau. I give the present to her there. All right? So, ordering your pronouns, knowing when to use your pronouns, those are big things to remember, but you can do it. All right? So that's your new pronoun, the pronom I. There's only one more pronoun to learn, and it's quite simple too. So learn this one, take your quizzes, do well on them, ask me questions if you have questions. All righty, thanks.